Hi, this is Stuart Corrigan from Vanguard Scotland, and in this short video I'm going to teach you a real critical part of an intervention, which is the sustainability element of the intervention. And really sustainability is about two things. One is managers reinforcing the new principles or the new policies, and also the problem solving element of it. So I'm going to explain to you in this video how to conduct the problem solving process. Now, as you can see, we have the problem solving sheet in front of us, and there are 7 boxes for you to complete. The first is the description of the problem. Second is whether we can contain the problem. Third is the analysis of the problem. Then a review. Next box is depending on whether we're going to run an experiment or simply take some direct action. Further review, and then a completion of the problem. So let's talk through each of these in a bit more detail. First is the initial problem description. Now, in this box, what we want to capture is we want to capture the effect of the problem. In other words, we want to make sure that when we describe the problem, we don't describe the potential cause of the problem, because simply we want to make sure that when we're trying to solve the problem, that we don't jump straight to conclusions about what may be wrong. So for example, when you're going to the doctor, you don't say to the doctor, I'm ill and here's what I think is wrong with me. Typically what you'll say is you'll explain the symptoms. So in the description box, we want to really have a number of criteria. One is we describe the symptoms. Second is we don't describe the cause. 3, we try and get a good understanding of the size of the problem. And 4th is we don't blame anyone. So a good description of a problem would be it's taking too long for us to put care in place for our adult elderly care system. Last month, 700 people were kept waiting for over 70 days. The second box is in the containment section, and containment basically means that we haven't solved the problem, but we've done something to stop it from getting worse. A good example of this was many years ago when we were working in Velux. On a Monday morning, the phones would get busy, the abandon rate would increase. So the operations director at the time decided, right, Monday morning what would happen is the managers would go on the phones to help us solve or contain the abandon rate problem. It didn't solve the problem, didn't make it go away, but it gave us some time to work on it. Next box is data collection and analysis. And again, we're now going to gather data and trying to understand the root cause of the problem. And there are about 4 different methods of doing this. Method number 1 is a simple cause and effect, where you're asking the question, why does this happen? And you're continuing to ask why until you get to the root cause. If you have a good understanding of the system, then you could probably do this intuitively. Second thing would be to complete a quick tally chart to understand the frequency with which the problem occurs. What you may also want to do is you may also want to use a process map. And the final tool you may use would be a capability chart in order to, again, understand the extent of the problem. So having understood the extent of the problem, you would then do a quick review with your team in order to say we've defined the problem, we've contained it, we've gathered some data in order to understand the root cause of the problem, and then you would see where that led you in terms of solutions. Now in this next box, you're then deciding, shall we run an experiment or shall we take direct action? Now what I mean by that is, should you run an experiment, should you run a trial, or are you absolutely clear that the solution that you're about to put in place is the right one and that it's unlikely that the problem will reoccur, so you'll simply go and make the change? Having made a change, of course you'll continue to remeasure the problem, and within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe a month, you'll study it again to see whether or not it has indeed solved the problem. And finally, as a quick summary to show that the problem has been completed, and possibly a note of when it may be reviewed again. Now, the problem solving sheet is used in conjunction with a visual measures board, and what this enables you to do is to focus on the top problem at any one time, and it also allows you to make sure that you have a structured process in place for solving problems. And of course, once you've solved your top problem, you then move on to the second problem, the third top problem. What it gives you as a management team is the confidence that you're always working on the biggest problem, hence focusing your activities on the area of the business that's going to give you the best return for your efforts. So I hope you've enjoyed that short 5-minute video on problem solving. If you would like more information, go back to the website, which is systemsthinkingmethod.com. Have a look at the blog, or have a look at our new resource, which will give you much more information on solving problem sustainability, which is the new ebook. And you can again find that on the site systemsthinkingmethod.com. Until the next time, thank you very much.